Make every night a wonderful journey, no matter where you are. Good night, sweet dreams. The first story, holder of vanity. In any city, in any country, go to any beat-down hotel or roadside rest house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask for the room number of someone who calls herself the holder of vanity. The person behind the desk will whistle and hand you a card with a room number on one side and a key to the other. When you start to go up the stairs, you should hear the moans and thrashing of passions around you, but you must not pay attention to them, lest you suffer something that would horrify even the souls in the deepest pits of hell. If the moaning ever stops, knock on the nearest wall and whisper, "Everyone is doing it. Don't stop on my account." If the moaning does not resume, pray that you suffer a quick death, though that is quite unlikely. When you finally reach the room that you were searching for, knock 4 times and say, "I have come for you." A male voice will answer you. Reply in a loud voice, "The woman is what I desire." If the man does not respond, open the door to the right, throw the key in, and quickly head back to the front desk. If he tells you to come in, open the door with the key. Instead of finding a man, you will find a woman chained to a crucifix, whose body is of a heavenly, enchanting beauty, but whose face is the most hideous that any mortal has ever seen. She will ask you if you have come to free her. Look at her straight in the face and do not answer her, or she will make you her slave for all eternity. The thing you can safely do is ask her, "What makes them vain?" The woman will laugh a very shrill laugh that will shake the very foundations of your mind. If you keep your sanity after that, the woman will slowly tell you about the things that keep their beauty for themselves, and how their vanity will end up destroying the beauty they hold so dear. When she finishes speaking, pick up the rose on the bed without breaking your gaze away from the woman. As soon as you grab the rose, quickly close your eyes as the room fills with an incomprehensible force. When you open your eyes, the rose will be dead and wilted, its thorns still embedded in your palm. Its stem is subject to 114 of 538. The beauty of the world will now crumble and show its true nature. Previous next. The second story, holder of grace. 5 miles north of any aging rural town, you will find a large decrepit house on a hill. Knock on the door, be answered by a tall dark man. Tell him you have come to speak with the holder of grace. He will try to persuade you to leave, but insist upon entering the house. He will direct you to a door at the end of a long hall, and he will leave you. Through the door there is a stone staircase leading down into darkness. The stairs will seem to continue for days, and before long your legs will begin to ache. Do not stop until at last you find yourself in front of a great wooden door. Knock on this door, and a soft voice will bid you enter. Should it speak any other words, run. When you enter, you will find yourself in a room containing a long table of mahogany set with fine china and precious crystal. From the ceiling will hang a chandelier of gold and gems. As you look upon these objects, you will realize that they were once the finest that could be had, but now all are chipped, cracked, tarnished. At the head of the table will sit the most beautiful woman you have ever seen, dressed in the ragged remains of a once glorious gown of gold and white. Across her eyes will be bound a scrap of silk addressed the woman as lady, and ask if you might join her. When she agree, you must know your place and choose your seat at the table. None can tell of the fate of those who choose wrong, but choose correctly, and food will appear on the table. Do not eat, do not drink, do not even breathe the scent, For this is not the food of mortal beings. Horrific figures will then take shape in the other seats. Look upon these godless things without flinching, and introduce yourself to each with the utmost of politeness. If they find even the slightest offense in you, they will rend you to pieces. Introduce yourself lastly to the lady at the head of the table, and ask her for her name. At this, she would only remove the silk from across her eyes. You must never look her in the eye. To do so would shatter your fragile mind. You may ask her then, "Why do you hold them?" And the lady will rise from her seat. Ask again, and you will find that she is standing at your side. Do not turn to her, do not look her in the eye, standing with her hands resting on your shoulders. She will begin to tell a story of angels and demons, of elder gods and mutilated souls, of horror. If you survive with your sanity intact, she will bid you good luck. She will lean in close to you and whisper her name in your ear. Then she will tell you your own, and you will know no more. When you wake, you will do so in the last bed you slept in, dressed in what you wore then. In your hand will be clutched a stained lace handkerchief with her name embroidered at the corner. This handkerchief is object number 213 of 538. Pray that her favor will protect you from what is yet to come. Previous next. The third story. Holder of finality. Clock. In any city, in any country. Head to a chess club and tell the person at the front desk, "I wish to speak to the holder of finality." Most will have no idea what you are talking about. But if you are in the right place, he will shudder for a moment, and then begging you to follow, he will march down a series of corridors until he comes to one that looks like a janitor's closet. He will open the door and then run away. When you enter the door, you will find that it is a large room. The walls and ceiling are painted with scenes of entire races, cultures, and species being exterminated. Many of the characters in the painting will not be human, and some will haunt your nightmares for years to come. In the middle of the room, there will be an old man sitting in a chair in front of a wooden chessboard. He will motion for you to take a seat at the other side. Do so, but when you start to play, you will find that no matter what, the game will end in a stalemate. Once the game ends, the pieces will appear back in their original position. Keep playing as long as necessary. Once the 13th game has ended, the pieces will remain where they are for a moment, not teleporting back. Immediately look the old man straight in the eye and ask, "What is a final answer worth?" He will respond by upsetting the board. Once the pieces fall to the ground, they will start to grow until they are human-sized. He will then answer your question. The answer will be brief, but at the same time, the most horrible thing you have ever heard. He will then attack you, and the black and white pieces will start to fight each other. Use whatever means you have at your disposal to defeat him, for he means to kill, and if he kills you, there will be no afterlife, just an ending nothingness. Should you manage to defeat him, the oversized chess pieces will disintegrate, and the man will slump to the ground and say, "The game is over. The final victory is yours." He will then burst into flame and burn, until there is nothing left but ashes. In the center of the ashes will be a small clock. This clock is object 211 out of 538. When it is set in motion, it can destroy souls. Make sure it does not consume yours. Previous next.